We got more mods for this 325 today, and we're going to be installing two of one of the most essential mods that you could do to this ski, and it's often the most overlooked. The first one being is going to be the RIVA catch can. Everyone needs to run a catch can on the Supercharged Sea-Doos. These things suffer from a lot of blow-by, and it's also really tricky to get the oil level perfectly right. And what ends up happening is oil gets pushed into the intake, coats the intercooler, and makes its way into the engine. So your intercooler is going to be less efficient, and you're going to be getting oil in the combustion chamber, which lowers the knock rating of your fuel. That means you're more prone to detonation, the engine's more likely to pick up knock, pull timing, and you're down on power. All of that is resolved by simply putting a catch can on. They're cheap, easy to use, anyone can install this, and you're not going to have any issues with oil getting into the intake system. The second thing that we're going to be installing is the RIVA rear exit exhaust system. Now the factory exhaust is made of silicone and plastic, and of course exhaust temperatures are hot. Plastic and heat does not mix very well together. It's very unlikely that you're ever going to melt the stock exhaust system, but it has happened before, and when it does, you have a hole, water's allowed to get into the hull, and your ski will sink. All of that can be fixed by simply upgrading the exhaust to the RIVA Racing aluminum pipe and aluminum rear exit exhaust tip. I get this question all the time. A lot of people are really wary about drilling a hole in the back of their ski for a rear exit exhaust. The factory exhaust system has a hole going through the hull anyways, and of course there's a little wiggle room in the kit. It's really easy to drill these holes, but even if you're off by just a little bit, you're going to be fine with no issues. Now, there's a big reason why I use the RIVA Racing rear exit exhaust kit. You can do the free flow, which you don't have to drill a hole, but it dumps in the factory location. But as you can see, the factory exhaust exits in here. So this entire pump cavity acts as a megaphone, and believe it or not, this is going to be louder and drone more than popping a hole here and putting the rear exit. Second reason that I use the RIVA rear exit exhaust over anyone else's is it's actually contoured to fit the hull. If you guys come take a look at this tip, you could see that RIVA has designed this to where it's contoured and perfectly fits up against the hull, and you're guaranteed to have a great seal with this and no water leaks. This is probably one of the most replicated parts on the market. A lot of people like to knock off RIVA stuff, which A, I don't agree with, and B, they're not getting this contour perfectly right, and some aren't even putting it at all. So not only are you paying for someone to rip off another person's product, but you're not going to get the absolute perfect seal like you do with this. So I like to always support the original designer, and of course, this is a superior product to any other knockoff out there on the market. So we're gonna dive right in, get this installed. We're gonna start with the catch can because it's super easy to do, and then we're gonna move on to this rear exhaust kit. I do have the intake manifold and intake off of this ski right now because we are doing a few upgrades, but the factory crankcase vent is this hose here, and it connects right into the intake. We're going to be getting rid of that, and the RIVA catch can is going to mount in front of the exhaust manifold here, and it comes with a replacement hose to route along that. So all I'll have to do is pop off these two exhaust manifold bolts, put the brackets on and the catch can, and put the hose, and I really think it's just going to take 10 minutes to get this done. The catch can was really easy to do. It's literally 4 bolts and that's it. Now we need to get the stock silicone exhaust hose out. We do need to get this plastic resonator out. And to do that, we're gonna have to cut a couple zip ties, remove a couple hose clamps, and we also need to cut the zip ties holding in these siphoning tubes. These high-speed siphoning tubes is what bails water out of the hull when you're at speed. And it's very important when we're installing the exhaust to make sure that these are up and high. Again, if you leave these dangling down in the hull, you do run the risk of it backfilling the hull with water. That's not something you want to do, and we'll get into that once the pipe is in. But for now, we need to get all of this out, and I may end up needing to take this blow-off valve out of here just to make enough room to get that plastic resonator out of the hull. With all the factory exhaust components out of the hull of the ski, we can now come to the pump cavity area. We do need to remove the factory rear exhaust outlet, and we do have a block off plug for this, but we will still utilize the factory nut and gasket, and then we can come over here and drill this hole. Now to remove this nut and reinstall it, I've always just used a big pair of channel locks. Works fine, I've never had any leaks. The channel locks do eat up the nut a bit, but once the pump's in there, you'll never see it. If you want a cleaner install, you can use the appropriate tool for the job, but most people will have a pair of channel locks laying around, and that's always what I use to get this job done. Now, the last thing that we're gonna have to do, and the most complicated part of this entire job, is cutting out this hole for the through hole exhaust. And RIVA makes this so easy to do with their templates. You cut it out, it's literally hard to mess it up. I use this blue masking tape to hold it in place, but if you line this up with the hull like the template shows, you're not going to mess it up. Of course, there's still a little wiggle room if you happen to get something off, but it's literally foolproof. And from there, we're going to need a few tools. We're going to use a 17/64 drill bit to drill all of these holes, and then we'll use a 3/4 inch hole saw for these holes, and we'll come back and cut it out along these lines here. For cutting the lines out, use whatever tool you feel comfortable using. I'm actually pretty slick with a Dremel, so that's what I'm going to use. It is going to make a lot of fiberglass dust. Having a shop vac on hand to get all the dust up, vacuum it all and clean it will be a nice thing to have. But I'm all about using the tools that you already have and not having to go out and purchase new stuff, and using what you're comfortable with. So if you have a preferred method for cutting this out, go ahead and do it that way. So the hole's done. It's not the most perfect hole in the world, but you do not need to worry about that. This is not something that has to be absolutely perfect. The way this exhaust system is designed, it's going to seal and it's going to look perfect when it's all installed. Now we're ready to stick the exhaust pipe in. Now, what I like to do is pre-assemble this entire pipe. That way it makes install as easy as possible. I will tighten this hose clamp down all the way, but I'll just snug this one up. By just snugging this up, it'll allow this tip to rotate just a little bit so I can get the fitment perfect. Then I'll come back and tighten this one down. This side also gets the thicker adhesive gasket. So you want to make sure you're working with a clean surface so this all sticks, and then we'll have to peel this end off so it'll adhere to the hull. Then we'll be able to stick this in, get everything lined up, and come put the flange on the outside and tighten that down. Now the hardest part of this entire job is done. All we have left to do is connect the pipe to the water box and tighten down the hose clamps, and then we're ready to hear a first start and how much better this sounds over the factory exhaust system. When you're tightening down all of these bolts, you don't have to over tighten them. All the time people go to put these outlets on and think these bolts need to be way tighter than what they actually need to be. You don't want to tighten it to the point where the gasket's actually sandwiching out from the flange. You're not going to get the best seal that way. You're actually going to end up with a much better seal with just putting some blue Loctite on all of these bolts and tightening it just enough to where the gasket doesn't want to sandwich out of the flange. So with that said, we're going to tighten down the hose clamps on the pipe and see what this thing sounds like. This looks much cleaner than the factory resonator that was big and bulky right there. Couldn't really see anything in the back of the hull, and now we've got all this room to work with. And for these siphoning tubes, I just put a little zip tie here, and I also put a zip tie to hold this. This is for the IBR, and I just didn't want to leave this flopping around. With this zip tie, you don't want to tighten it down to where it's pinching off these hoses and it gets no flow. I just put it snug enough to where it'll hold them in place. And the catch can over here fits really nicely, just routes like that. I do have the RIVA Racing exhaust race plate, which spaces out the exhaust quite a bit, and I'm doing that to run these EGT sensors. And I did have a little bit of a clearance issue. All I did was bend the bracket, and now I've got plenty of room between the catch can and the hull, so no need to worry there. This install went very smoothly. I am happy with the end result. The hull looks much cleaner, the exhaust sounds much better, and we're fixing a few of those reliability issues here. Now, if you want to install this on your Sea-Doo, go over to the Green Hulk store. I will be putting a link in the description below. I guarantee you will not find a better price on this kit anywhere else. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.